We're going to attempt to make this video with Stella out of the crate. That's why I have dog treat in my hand. Hello, dog. Yep, this is definitely not going to work. Shh. Shh. Good girl. Okay. That crunching is probably very loud. That's the dog chewing on the treat that I finally just gave to her. Hey there, Internet, and welcome back to the show that I definitely release every single Saturday, and I've never ever missed a week in the 6.5 years I've been doing this.
Hello, darkness.
Yeah, that's definitely right. Sorry about the past 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not even sure at this point. Things have just been absurdly busy getting ready for the holidays / partaking of some of the holidays, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas and all those things that happen at the end of the year. Speaking of Christmas, I've been spending the past week of work getting ready for the giant Christmas production that my church does almost every year, except we didn't do it last year, except we kind of did it last year, but we definitely did it 2 years ago, and now we're pretty much doing it this year, except not quite. I'm not going to explain that, but that technically does make sense. Anyway, this year it was decided that we wanted to try something new with projection in sort of the center of the staging area up above, with multiple different screens showing related but distinct imagery, and it was up to me, being the video / AV guy, to figure out how to accomplish that. Only problem is that's not really what I was trained to do, and while I think it's fascinating and I'd like to learn how, I don't really have the knowledge or the skills to make that happen. Enter my dad and my predecessor in my job, Mike. These two guys, who have worked together for a long time, are responsible for a lot of the technology-based theatrical accomplishments we've been able to make at my church through the history of us doing big productions. They've got the brains to figure out how to do things, and they're usually the grunt labor who actually get the things done. And so, for the past week, they have either taken time off work or come at the end of their workday to help me, hour upon hour, figure out how on earth we were going to do this thing, which, I'll be honest, may or may not have involved some highly dangerous lift work and crawling around in a ceiling. And now that we've reached the end of the week and the task is finally accomplished for the most part, and it works better than any of us possibly hoped it would work when we started the project, I am just amazed and overwhelmingly thankful that I have two people like my dad and Mike in my life. Not only because they make my life easier by doing things that I would have no idea how to do, but because they're an amazing example of just being willing to help and working through a difficulty until it's accomplished, and maybe being a little bit risky with how you're willing to put your life on the line to accomplish something for a theatrical production, but that's a side point. They are just really servant-hearted people, and like I said before, it's amazing to me. And so this has gotten me thinking that we really ought to surround ourselves with people who just amaze us, like on a day-to-day basis. Whether it's because of their constant joy, or their perseverance, or their phenomenal work ethic, or their courage, or their boldness, or their integrity, or their servant-heartedness, or their lovingness, or their kindness, whatever attribute about them it is that amazes you. Find people like that and be around them. As rarely as I glimpse into the outside world beyond my own day-to-day existence, every time I do, I'm struck by the fact that we have a really bad habit of surrounding ourselves with the wrong kind of people, or idolizing the wrong kind of people, looking up to the wrong kind of people. That doesn't mean that there aren't celebrities or pop culture icons or heroes in the common vernacular who are good role models, but a whole lot of them aren't. And the reason for that is that the people who actually are good role models are just busy doing the things that we should be doing and not making a big deal out of being seen doing it. This is why I put the onus on you to say surround yourself with these kinds of people. You've got to seek them out. I don't know where exactly you're going to find them. Hopefully you have some good friends in your life who already encourage you. Find more people like them. But the only way really truly to grow as a person is to have people from whom to learn how to grow. Before I go, I want to make a couple clarifying statements. Number one, I don't mean surround yourself with people who make you feel amazing. It's much more subtle in real life, but think of a Mean Girls style clique where you've got the really smart, really pretty, really awesome, except she's not, girl, and she surrounds herself by either dumber or uglier or whatever people inferior to her. We don't like to admit nowadays that we think of other people as inferior to us, but more often than not, that tends to be true. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I have that mindset sometimes. First off, that's wrong. Don't think of people as inferior to you. People are different from you. That doesn't automatically make them worse. In fact, it can often make them better in some ways. But surrounding yourself with people like that is just a way of lowering the bar, and getting over the bar because it's on the ground is not really much of an achievement. And addendum number 2, I don't mean surround yourself with people who make you feel envious. I call this the social media problem. It's easy to go scrolling through your Instagram feed or your Facebook feed or your whatever feeds there are out there nowadays and see all of these people who are posting photos of their beautiful homes and their beautiful families and their beautiful selves, whatever it may be, and say, wow, I really want to be like those people and they inspire me and I look up to them and I want to be like them. The problem that I've observed, though, in looking at my own thoughts and the people around me is that tends to be more of a discouragement than an encouragement. It breeds envy, saying, why can't I have those things? Everything these people post seems to be perfect and my life isn't perfect. I'm never going to get to that point. Why do I even try? The best role models and the best examples are the people that will tell you they're not perfect all the time and show you how to live in light of the fact that no one is perfect. They are an example as an imperfect person of how to live as well as possible. Without the one, all you have is a glamored up, glitzed up celebrity icon, or like one of those super jacked people on Instagram who makes us all feel bad. And I'm like, why are you even posting that? I don't care how many biceps you have today. Are biceps a thing that you can have more of? I don't think they are. I think by definition, there's 2 of them. My final point is this. If you have people in your life who amaze you, or when you get people in your life who amaze you, tell them that. Encourage them to continue being like that and thank them for what they do. Thank them for the example they set, because it's not easy. Otherwise, there'd be a whole lot more people doing it, which is why I want to say thank you to my dad and Mike, and I'll see you guys next week. Deuces.